Hello owls, how are you? I hope you're all looking forward to coming back to school very, very soon. So what I thought I would do is talk to you a little bit about what's going to happen when we do all come back to school. So first of all, to keep you all really, really safe, it is impossible for us to fit you all back into Owl's classroom. So what's happened is Mr. Rush and I have been really busy sorting out both Frog's and Owl's classroom, which means that half of you are going to be sitting in Owl's classroom and half of you are going to be sitting in Frog's classroom with your teacher in the middle where the two doors are, which I'll show you in a minute. So you're kind of together, but across two separate rooms. Your break times we will have together, but we have to try very, very, very carefully to keep as separate as possible so that we can all be very, very safe. So you will be able to talk across each of the groups, but you won't necessarily be sat with your friends. Now the two groups are going to be split up based on what secondary schools you are going to. This is because the secondary schools may want to come in and see you, and we need to make sure that you are safe within your little group. So one of the groups is going to be all the children who are going to Grove School and Burton Borough, and the other group is going to be all the children going to SJT, the Girls High, and other schools in another group. So when you come in, on your table you will see in a moment that I've put your name on a tray. If you look on the video, it may be, and I'll show you why in a little bit, it may be that those trays may be in different places when you actually come in. So don't get too excited or too worried when you see a tray with your name, because it's highly likely that that tray won't be in the same place, but I'll show you why later. So where do you come into school when you arrive? Well, if you've read Mrs. Williams' letter, or your parents have read Mrs. Williams' letter, you will know that you will come in through the front door of Frog's. We are going to put out some cones for you so that you can line up safely outside with your one adult, if your one adult is bringing you to school, or if you are by yourself. Now, it's so important that we can trust you to line up safely by these cones. So when it is time, I will try to open this Victorian door that hasn't been open for about 75 years, I think, and say hello to you. So this is where you're going to be, and we'll have little cones, and you need to make sure that obviously you are allowing sort of a decent gap between yourselves, which the cones will mark out. So you'll come up the stairs. Just excuse me, I'm going to try and shut the door. And you will come in to Frog's, which looks a little bit like this at the moment. So you can see that we have got tables spaced out, and then we've got this zigzag line. Now this zigzag line is the do not cross line unless you are in the group that is walking into Owls. So this little zone is where the grown-ups are going to stand, and you are going to be sat on your tables. Now you might see that we've got some tape on the floor. This tape is to make sure that your tables stay in a safe place and don't move, so that we can make sure that you are all safe. If you are in this particular room, you are going to be designated, and really exciting, you're going to get your own personal toilet. So the toilets in here are going to become unisex toilets. So that means that there will be about 4 or 5 of you using a particular toilet, and you can only use the toilet that you are given. Okay, we've also got wash zones, i.e. the sink. Here again, we've got little marked out zones so that we can make sure that you are all safe. So I'm going to be stood here in between so that I can see you guys here, and I can see the guys that are going to be based in here. So this is Owl's classroom at the moment. Okay. Again, there's a little yellow zigzag line, which is the do not cross line. So this is where all the grown-ups will be stood, and you guys have to stay that side unless you are walking, obviously, when we go home or if you're coming through to come to this particular classroom. Now, you might have noticed the cloakroom is now out of bounds. That's now because we have cleared it of all your PE kit. I think Oliver Lowry, I think your PE kit's at the front door for you. And I think there are a couple of others that need collecting of things that you have forgotten. In there also you might have noticed at the back, I know some of you are very worried about your Arctic animals that you brought in for the display. Mrs. Bromley and I have bagged them up in little Polly pockets for you to keep them safe, and they are in there for the time being. So we haven't thrown them away, they're all in there safely for you at some point to have to take home. In here, again, you've got your little marked out zones where your tables will need to stay. We have also got at the back here a yellow and black marked out area for the sink for washing hands, and then this is going to be, so our fire exit is going to be our exit point for this group. So if you are in Owl's class, that's the way that you are going to be going outside for your break time. If you are in Frog's classroom and you're in that group, you are going to be going out to break time through the main door, down the corridor and out the front. So a grown-up, Mrs. Bromley or Miss Humphreys or myself, will be taking each of the groups on their journeys safely outside to the playground. Okay, so it is important that you remember things like that for when we come back. Again, so if you're in Al's classroom, you again, also very lucky, have got your own personal toilets. They're going to become unisex. Remember them. And again, it's going to be about 4 or 5 of you to one particular toilet. So you will need to remember which your toilet is. Now, we were due to come back on Monday the 1st of June. Unfortunately, there has been a slight disaster in the classroom. So when Miss Davies-Griffith came into school to sort out, there's a bit of an issue with the roof. If you can see. I don't know whether I can get it to work. Can't see. There we go. Basically, the roof has collapsed. So the plasterwork collapsed on the roof tiles and the metal buckled, and a lovely workman has come along and taken it down, but there was a lot of rubble, which basically means that at the moment it is not safe to have you coming back to school into the classroom until we have had some people coming out to fix the ceiling. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be really, really disappointed by that, but we just want to make sure that everywhere is totally 100% safe for you for coming back to school. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to come back at all. It just means that we are going to postpone your start date for when you come back. So hopefully the workmen will come and they will fix it so that you will be able to come back to school in that first week at some point, hopefully. If not, it will just be postponed a little bit more until it is safe for you to come back. Now, if you have any questions at all about what's going to happen at school, or you've seen something on the video and it's maybe raised a question in your head that you want me to answer or Mrs. Williams to answer, please remember you can email us to talk to us. I have remembered something that I forgot to show you. So on the desks, you may have noticed that you have some little trays. These are your trays. Oh, Owls, you're in big trouble. That took me ages to declutter all your trays. There was paper, there was toy, there was all sorts of different things. Anyway, finally finished emptying your trays, and in it has got everything you are going to need, because remember, you're not allowed to bring any pencil cases or things into school. So within here, you are going to have your own little pots, okay, with everything. You've got felts, very lucky. You've got your own felt tips, your own pencil crayons, your own resources. You've also got whiteboards, pens, rubbers, a couple of your exercise books, your morning challenge books, and also anything that I found that was important, such as your glasses, or for some of you, those your CGP books that you forgot to take home on the last day to do in the holidays, or the time that you've been off. So you will obviously have those so that you can obviously carry on with those when you come back to school if you haven't finished them. I don't think there is anything else that I need to tell you. And if I do, I will maybe post another video later. I'm so excited to see you all because I have really, really, really missed each and every one of you. So I can't wait to see you. Please, please, please don't be too upset that we're not coming back straight away. And hopefully I'll see you all really, really, really soon. Bye.